Well, hello, hello, hello. I'm sitting here falling asleep. Let's see what we got here. Get this a little tighter. Eugene Flynn. Hello, Eugene Flynn. I wanted to set up a tank. Late this week, you recommend a 30-gallon or 7. My goodness sakes. Well, a 75, by all means, Eugene. I mean, what a question. Get you a wrench. Turn you blue. Sean Goldwyn, good one. Getting back into keeping fish. Have some freshwater fish and a few tropicals. Where are we? Followed along for a while, having some lovely results. Very nice. Very nice. Jimmy, you got a wrench. Monique Haddix. Hello, Monique. Spinster sister. Nice to see you, Inner City Pigeon. Yeah, the new website's coming along. It still needs some work, but it's getting there. And she's saying, question for the show. I have an old bag of organic succulent soil left. Is it going to add to a new tank? Oh, yeah, sure. Capping with double the sand. Dustier than regular potting soil. It won't matter. A dusty really is preferable because it gives you a tinier mix. So, yeah, it'll be fine. Texas Rose. Hello, hello. That is Ishmael Geddick. Hello, Ishmael. Turn you blue. Derek Hudberg. Hello, Derek. The Mossery. What do you recommend for lids that will keep room humidity low? What I recommend is refrigerator shelves. I think I mentioned this last week. The very best kind of glass that you can get, and you usually can get them for free. You need to find somebody who repairs refrigerators and see if you can land a bunch of glass on them from them. It's thick glass. Usually it's at least 18 inches square. It varies some in size. It's tempered, so it's a high quality glass, and it is filed. It's smooth, so it doesn't cut you. Usually, it's got some kind of metallic or plastic edge on it. It's wonderful glass. It's really excellent, and it works extremely well with fish tanks. Tess W. I'm pretty good. I'm tired. I didn't sleep hardly at all last night. I went to bed about 7 or 8 o'clock, and I got up about midnight. And I think I finally went back to bed at what, like 5 o'clock and slept till 7. And I've been up since 7. And I've been running all over the place. I had church this morning. By the way, I'll be preaching this coming Sunday. I don't think I can do it live. I really would like to, but I don't think I can pull it off. I might give it a shot. Oh, glory. Anyway, I bought some tanks today. I got into a flea market, and a woman had a brand new 75, a 55 in nice condition, clean, used but very clean, and a 40, a 36-inch 40. Um, got all three of them for $150. So I got them loaded up. We'll take them out of the van tomorrow and put them in the warehouse. So that gives me 7 pretty good sized tanks. They're going to all go in a showroom that's kind of an office area. It's right in front. Um, I've got a nice oriental rug, a big one, on the floor. Some new furniture that I got from a used furniture place. I got a big roll top desk for $100. Just a bunch of nice stuff. Probably the nicest leather recliner I've ever had for $40. Really nice chair. And I'm going to start setting up tanks in there. I will video every one of them as I do it because I need to be doing that. And I visited Super Cichlids in Dover, Delaware this week. Went up there Wednesday, I think. And they had uh, chocolate gouramis, the mandarins. They had licorice gouramis. And they had another one I did not get, plus Hillstream loaches. So I got a half a dozen each of the gouramis and the Hillstream. I've got them all in a 15-gallon tank. I'll show that off a little later. I've been feeding them. I've got a really good culture going outside. A lot of Daphne and a lot of microculture. So I've been feeding. Oh dear, been feeding microculture every day to them. Plus some fine that Japanese food. I kind of got into that. It's pretty good quality food. Daniel from Sweden. Nice to see you, Daniel Groff. 3G is here. Hello, 3G. Andy Underwood. That tree in the background. Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it? This is it's a manufactured piece. These are made in Indonesia. Um, I need to try to get a shipment of them. I had a bunch at the shop. I kept this one. They're kind of pricey, but they're really very nice. There is a street on one of the islands in Indonesia that has little tiny shops, one right alongside the other, where they manufacture these. They're made with local pieces of wood that are all kind of glued together. It's hard to see it. It's done so well. But you can see like this piece All of these little pieces are added on. So it's not natural. I mean, it's natural material, but extremely well done. Just really lovely stuff. And you're right. I need to get some Cuba. I'm trying to get some mosses, synspilum and whatnot going. Having trouble getting what I want, but that's what'll happen with that. And I will try to get some more of those. They're just really nice. There's an outfit in Texas that's importing them. I think I'll talk to Super Cichlids and maybe they'll go in with me on a shipment of them. Harold Valina, watching from the Philippines. Nice to see you, Harold. Give you a wrench. Aaron R. Hello, Aaron. Stallion fish keeping. Oh, and gardening. Nearly finished your scape on tank video. Be on in a few weeks. You'll like it. Look forward to it. That'll be great fun, Stallion. Ellie Murphy, how many fish tanks have I got? Set up. I just have what's here. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 here. Um, I have 7 more, and they're all bigger tanks. Smallest one's 40 gallons. One of them is a 200, 75, 200, 75, 55, 40, 40, 40, 60. Um, they'll I'll be working on those for the next couple of weeks. Most of them don't have stands, so I've got to work that out. But we'll get them set up, and I'm just really excited about the Super Cichlids has been importing, and they've got a really good supplier. I mean, these samurai that I got are gorgeous. And I was able to get females, which is almost impossible. So, real excited about that. There were a few other things I wanted to get and didn't because I'm just not ready for them, but we'll be having some pretty neat stuff. The big tank is going to get a couple of big fish, probably an Asian arowana, unless I can get an Australian barramundi, which I probably can't do, but I'm going to try. I might do I would like to do an abba. They need to be in a tank by themselves. So I'm gonna get some big fish, and I'm gonna do them in planted tanks. Now they're probably not going to be Central American cichlids, although I would love to get a big pair of Argentia. I might get small ones and try to grow out a colony of Argentia in like maybe the 75. They get about a foot long. They're stunning fish. 75 really would just be barely big enough for them. Christmas moss would, yeah, that would be good. I haven't decided what to do on it yet. How can I join your fish club, says Glendon. Let me post the link. Let's see, where'd it go? Cost, cost is chi. Add moderator. And what do we have here? Something funny. Nightbot. Oh, so I got a bot on there. That's interesting. Um, that I don't know what the link was, but let me know. It's probably going to be fine. I really don't have a problem with links being posted. I don't know who created the bot. Let's see if I can get rid of it. I could hide it. I'm going to hide the bot. I don't know if that'll work. Probably won't. I don't know what that's all about. Paulo, Henrique Teixeira from Brazil. Hello, Paulo. Nice to meet you. Derp Son. Hello, Derp Son. Ellie Murphy has a 150. That's a nice size tank. What's that? 5 foot? 5 foot long, Karen Hahn. Nice to see you, Karen. What's going on here? Never too old for new friends, Karen. Costas J. Did I give you a wrench? I think I did, didn't I? I did. Fish Sam Link. Do not forget to give thumbs up. Do thumbs up. I put tadpoles in my tank. Fish love tadpoles. It's a great fish food. If you see in the spring, if you can collect tadpoles in pools, usually they're toads, but which are not particularly edible, but the tadpoles are. Also, another one that's pretty common is the tree frogs, the Cuban tree frog in Florida. Those are wonderful food for some larger fish. Does moss provide oxygen? Certainly does, Linda. Absolutely. I'm going to get you a wrench here. I'm having trouble. Calinux. Bot is right. What link? Huh. Yeah, I'm too witless to know what's dangerous and what's not. Calinux, guppy and endlers are fighting 24/7 in the same tank. Should they be separated? First time putting these together in the same tank, a guppy and angler, to make them eat all planaria and hydra. Well, they'll chase each other, but they rarely will do any damage. So they're simply being busy and active. Um, I've never seen guppies actually hurt each other, or anglers for that matter. I mean, if you find nip fins and fish being beat up, that's one thing. But if it's just chasing, that's pretty normal, natural behavior. Epiphyte aquariums, nice to see you. Thorn trap, bullfrog tadpoles. Yeah, perfect. If they're big, they're great food. A bigger fish will eat them. L. Hellboy from Boston. Ken 1. Tadpoles are bigger than the fish. Aaron R. Where'd Aaron go? Somebody just donated $5. There it is, Steve Bloom. Thank you, Steve. And Steve says, hi, Father Fish. Is it possible to add a sand cap once you already have an established tank? Absolutely. What I recommend if you have plants in the tank is to add half an inch every 3 to 4 days or 3 days to a week to give the plants a chance to kind of rise up in it. Do that 4 times until you get 2 inches of sand in there. That's easy to do. Rinse sand, you just pour it in. It's not going to bother the fish, not going to hurt anything, just won't be an issue at all. Rod 555. Think I put too much water in to saturate the soil. Wait to evaporate a bit, then and sand. You can do that. If you will use a net and just lift a bunch of it up and squeeze it out into a bucket or some kind of container, you can remove some of the water that way. It will contain some solubles, so it's not foolproof, but the little bit you lose really isn't gonna make much difference. Or as you say, just let it evaporate. You can evaporate it more quickly by putting a fan on top of the tank, just blowing a fan into it. That'll evaporate it in about 1 day. It'll clear it out pretty quick. Thank you, Steve. FX Lambert, are you at Costco? Was who at Costco? I'm not at Costco. Give you a wrench there. Lambert was in my local aquatic store, says Stallion. A female pregnant guppy managed to get in the angel tank. I told them I'll get it before it gets eaten. I put it in the tank alone. Fingers crossed I get fry. Yeah, you should, and they should do well. It's really the smartest way to get live bearers, particularly guppies, because guppies tend to have virus. But if you get the babies and then just remove the adult, the female, the babies will grow up and they'll be virus free. They don't contract it right away. Um, that's probably the safest way if you're having trouble keeping guppies. Buy pregnant females and raise the babies. That works. Steve Bloom. Hello, Steve. Get you a wrench here. Maureen's Menagerie. Nice to see you, Maureen. Steve Bloom. Duck. Keeping the light on for a week for the plants. Really a good idea. You could even leave it on longer than that. Leave it on until you begin to have an algae problem and then back it off. That will maximize the growth potential with your plants because they will benefit greatly from an abnormal amount of light to get them started. And a demijohn, rod 555. In same position and maintain. What is he talking about? Rod. Small hole in the demijohn makes it awkward. I missed this. Ben Hoskins. Hello, Ben. Retracted his comment. We'll give him a wrench. Make him feel welcome. Ron, too much water. Ah. So you got a jar. I picked up a couple of recently. I really like them. Yeah. Durf's son rehomed my 200 guppies. Had 5 left. Have another 15 new babies out of doors. Nice. That's fun. Q Aquatics. Good to see you, Q Aquatics. Nice to have you here. All right. Moving right along. Kasich. Well, glad to have you here, Kasich. So we get you a wrench. Small hole in Devonshire makes it awkward. Yeah, it does. It makes it real nice, though. And of course, it does a really good job of controlling evaporation. And you can put an air stone in it, or even a sponge filter. You can squeeze a little sponge filter in there, and that works real well. Ben Hoskins. Thought I did. I did. Hadn't shown up yet. Let's see. Need to move down the line here. Test W. Steve, I did that. If you have a teapot, you can put sand in it and slowly put it into the water. The sand will come out of the spout of the teapot and drop the sand exactly where you want it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Epiphyte. Boy, this jumping around awful fast here. I think I've got, what have I got? My God, there are 175 people in here. Good Lord Almighty. No wonder I'm having trouble keeping up. Taurus, hello, Taurus. Good to see you. Mercy. Fish and Tank Decks, hello, hello. Silver Creek Wildlife. Hey, buddy. Erie is here. Hello, Erie. Hotbot. Hotspot. Oh, hot's hot. Hot shot. There, I'll get it. Early stages of a natural tank. Isn't anything you should do as a tank attempts to mature. Just keep the faith through the algae stages. Yeah, that's kind of it. You're going to have oddball stuff happen, but it's all part of the process. Don't be don't be dissuaded and don't be dismayed. Just keep plugging along. Keep lots of plants in it. That's really, really the key. And underfeed. Try to get a food web going. You can do that early on, but don't go crazy with it because you can foul the water with too much material. So small amounts at a time. Hello, Taurus. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Can we get you a wrench? Guess you got one. Just hadn't shown up yet. I'm down. No, I'm not at the bottom either. Not even close. Oh, just caught 2 bluefin killies and a pygmy sunfish. Wow. Very cool. Where are you, Valley? Are you in Florida? Where are you? I got a bunch of bluefins. I don't have any pygmies. I somehow wound up not getting them. and haven't been able to get anybody to send me any. There is, I got another possibility I need to work on. See if Bill will send me some. He ought to have them. He's probably got them in his pond. Valley Michael, hello Valley. Erie Papa, do you know what fish are in that tank behind you? I do. There are about 75 fish in there. Um, I don't know if we can, let me see if I can show you. The fundulus are the most interesting ones, but they're shy. That's a fundulus. Whoa, they're so shy. There's a male. That's a male. The female is just as pretty as the male, but she's totally different. That's a young male. The male in the back. There's the female. Look at, they're so shy. She has speckles. She's it's like a field of stars. I think that's the male. The female behind. They're all hiding now. I'm going to back up a little bit. He's missing a scale. I don't know what happened. There she is. They won't let me get close. They just dart to the back. There she is. That's the female. And they've spawned in here. I've yet to see any fry. I've got a bunch of Formosa, and I think, which I haven't seen in a while. Probably got 20 of them in here. But they stay low and down kind of deep into the plants. And I think they're cleaning up things like eggs and babies. There's a betta, female betta. There's a pisto. Oh, look at that. There's the female. Male apisto, female apisto. These are rainbows. There goes the female again. There's the male. Really, really pretty fish. They will get a bit bigger. They're about 2 inches. I've caught them as big as 4 inches, but only ever caught one that size. So, nice fish though. You know what we can do? Put a little food in there. That'll get them all coming out. Oh, I got some right here. There. Yeah, he's got something on his side. See it? It might be a parasite. It looks like a scale missing. You hear my canaries in the background? Look at that. Look at that. There, look at, there he comes. The orange tail. Pretty fish. Boy, where's all that glare coming from? Yeah, ready. Let's see, while I'm doing this, let's take a look at these gouramis I just got. They are really, oh, really nice. Let's see. Who are you? You're one up top. Let's see who's down below. There's some licorice. Oh, that's it. These are goody eye. There's a betta, a male betta. Some little goody eye. More goody eye. There's the samurai. I think there are 6 samurai in here. Here's a licorice. Oh, here we go. There's the licorice in the back. I don't know if you can see it. There's some samurai being shy. There are a couple of gold plecos in here, gold nugget plecos, and a bunch of, there's one right there. Look at that. Hillstream Loach. Half a dozen Hillstreams also in here. So it's got some nice fish in it now. I'm kind of excited about that. The liquors are all hiding out. Good Eye are up front and busy. There we go. That's probably a female. Another one in back. That's a male behind it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. There's a licorice. So, oh, see if I can sit down without falling down here. Oh my. Oh. All right, we're back. Let's see. I see a Llewellyn. I like nano tanks. I have from 2.5 to 20, 12 tanks. Yeah, I do too. I've got a few. I haven't set them up yet. Need to do a Drifter's Workshop. Louis Negron. Rod. Yeah, I'm back. Oh, that's what you were talking about. I was gone. Oh, okay. Pyrolatry 87. Do I remember you? Pyrolatry 87. I'm sorry, Pyrolatry. I do not remember you. Refresh my memory, please. Yeah, you guys were talking about missing me, and I thought you were talking about somebody else because I didn't realize my camera was off. I apparently touched it. If I touch it, it screws up there. Maybe that'll not drop off again. Let's see. Heads for horses. Derpson. What's the link? Guess I'm gonna find out. Oh, it's a. Oh, isn't that pretty? I don't know if we can show this. Oh, it's a nerite. Oh, this is interesting. I need to do this. Let me see. Let me go back. Who is this? Chris LeCalp. Well, I'm not subscribed to, so let's do that while I'm here. Let me get back. I went off. I did, yeah. Nisea Golden starting to melt. Oh, just let it root. The root should be okay, unless you've got it planted too deeply. It's got brown algae on the leaves. It probably is not getting enough light. Any of the color, any of the colorful plants require pretty intense light. It's hard to keep them going without it. So try to get it more light. You might pull it up and put it where it'll get more light. Do not plant them deeply. If you do, in the new tank, the uh, the new dirt is going to burn the roots up. Oh, uh, I I had a friend who showed me pictures. He was from the Philippines. He visited family, came back. He went to a market, a tropical fish market, and they had rainbow colored nerites. And he brought back pictures of them. He said it was natural, they were not painted. They were extraordinary. I'm just worlds of color, beautiful things. The link that was posted has uh, that's like pink spotted nerite. Never saw anything like it. There are a wide variety of very, very colorful nerites that eventually will make it into our market. They tend to hit all the Asian markets first. What do I recommend for floaters? Depends what you want to do. Um, Frog spit is a nice one, mainly because it's a little harder for it to completely take over. Um, Salvinia, I like Salvinia. It's bigger, and there are a couple of different varieties of Salvinia. They're prettier and a little bigger than duckweed. There's another one I had. I think it's all gone now. It was tiny, tiny little dots, tiny little green dots. I don't think there were leaves. It was just and tiny. I mean, really, really tiny. That was a floater, like a duckweed, only it didn't look like a leaf. It was just a tiny green dot. I think my favorite probably is frog's bit. Snails are dying. Interesting. Look at them carefully and see if you find anything that looks like damage to the shell. There's a parasite that will attach itself to the edge of the shell and start chewing on the shell. And it'll chew a line right up the operculum, up to it and just past it, and then burrow into the body of the snail and kill it. I've only seen them on farms. I've not seen them in fish tanks. Um, what kills snails? Are they all dying or just a few? Um, MTS will sometimes the big ones will die up. I mean, they don't live real long, but they keep populating. Malaysian trumpet snails. If you've got them for any length of time, there will be empty shells all over the top, but it'll also be a big population of them still living in the tank. Sessiliflora cuttings, says Erie. Frogbit and Salvinia minima together. That's a nice mix. The Tampa Betta breeder. The Venice store is closed. Been closed for a long time. And I don't know, I might have the number. I will look and see if I can find it. Just a few are dying off. That's probably normal. They don't live forever. And is it MTS? Is that the species? Because that's fairly common. Pricky fish later wants you to add calcium. Eggshell is good. Crushed eggshell. If you crush eggshell, it acts as a really good calcium supplement. A really excellent one. What you want to do is put the egg shell in a microwave for about 30 seconds to get it totally dried out, and then crush it with a mortar and pestle, that level of crush. Turn it into a powder, and then you can put that powder in the tank. It will sink. It's not going to float, not for long anyway. It dissolves easily. It helps to buffer the water, um, and it will ensure that the snails have adequate calcium for their shells. It's a really easy thing to do and very, very effective. Talking about feeding garlic to battle ick. The garlic, to the best of my understanding, does not kill the ick. What it does is provides some antibacterial benefit to the injury that the ick parasite causes. If you will raise your temperature to 86 plus, 86, 87, 88, you can drive it all the way up to 90. Within 2 to 3 days, the ick will have dropped off and fallen into the substrate. It will remain essentially inert for about 4 days, at which time it'll die. So if you leave that temperature up for 4 days, it'll be gone. You'll get rid of it. The garlic will act as an antiseptic, preventing bacteria from being introduced to the wound created by the parasite. Ginger powder to treat some diseases. That's interesting. Epiphyte aquariums wants to use ginger powder to treat diseases. That's one I'm not familiar with, but that makes really good sense to me. I'm going to do some experimenting with that. I think we'll pass that one on to the shoal, and we'll get some folks over there trying ginger powder. Sounds good. Ridgeback 825. Let's get you a wrench. Inspired me to clean out and set up a nano dirted. Wish I could come by the shop. Well, the shop's no longer there, but come on to Discord, to the shoal. Somebody post the link to the shoal, so you can show off your tank and visit some other folks and talk about what you're doing. Andrew Foley, hello, hello. Maureen's Menagerie. Boy, I move a little bit and it just jumps. Neem oil. I've got some neem oil here. What are we doing with the neem oil, Maureen? Aragonite triangle. Aragonite. Cassandra. Garlic makes meds tasty for fish. Yeah, fish tend to like garlic. I crush it. I don't use the liquid because it tends to foul, and it just gets lost in the water. But if you will crush garlic, like in a garlic press, and feed the smashed garlic, don't cook it first. It needs to be raw. It's not something you want to feed routinely. 2 or 3 times, once a day, twice a day, over a short period of 2 or 3 days to deal with specific issues, such as my missus bangs off garlic constantly. She's only short of putting it in her tea. Makes meds tasty. We did that. Craig's Catfish Cave. Hello, hello. Here he says only one kissing. Is she French? I see. Drifter's Workshop. Larissa. Man, if I move a little bit, it just jumps. Where are we at? 130. We lost 40 people. That's kind of amazing. We were at 175, 15 minutes ago? We're at 140 now. Strange. We've got one person visiting from Facebook. Who is that? Oh, Lewis. Lewis is in Facebook. Lewis is in Australia. He called me early, called me 1 o'clock in the morning, my time, not his time. I think he was at noon. Woke me up. That's why I didn't go back to sleep. He woke me up and then I was up. Um, and I said, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. You just woke me up. Where are you calling from? Australia. Oh, well, I guess I need to talk to you. So we chatted a few minutes. I couldn't let anybody call me from Australia and not give him the respect of at least chatting a bit. Cassandra needs a wrench. Let's see if I can find Cassandra. Oh, yep, sure enough. Sure enough. We got her. Larissa Meeks. Can I start a resurrection jar if I'm not going to build my tank until March? Yeah, absolutely. Just collect some leaves because you're going to need to be feeding it leaves to keep it going. Don't just let it sit there and ignore it. Um, it needs nutrients, and the nutrients you want to put in are dried leaves. Marines, thank you. Father Fish said better like their water high in mineral, but a good brand at Stirwin added some to my 3 gallon. Yeah, it's really kind of interesting. I'm gonna get into this is just a fascinating thing that I need to get into. The attitude of new people who are about a year down the road is that they have finally figured out that different fish are from different water, and some fish are from saltwater areas and others are from hardwater areas. People who keep um, Malawi cichlids learn that pretty quick, and others who keep some of the tetras, the South Americans. Here's the thing about all that. All of these fish have been bred in captivity for an average of 50 years, both in Florida and in primarily Thailand, all over the Ivory the Gold Coast, but primarily Thailand. The water in both places is alkaline. It's a high pH and it's very hard. So all of these fish, discus included, have been raised now for upwards of 50 years or more in hard alkaline water. They are completely attuned to it. To drive this home, years ago, I was on Aquabid back, 25 years ago. I was on Aquabid. And I sold a selection of very, very fancy angels to a woman in Philadelphia. It was about, at that point, a $300 order. The same order today would be well over $1,000. It took me weeks to get, I had breeding pairs of albino pearl scale veils, black veils, just everything that was odd and exotic in angelfish at the time. There were about a dozen fish altogether that cost at retail about $25 each. I shipped them all up to the woman. She was thrilled. Within 3 to 4 days, I started getting calls from her saying that the fish were bleeding from the gills and they were acting fin clamped. So I began talking with her and discovered that she had put them in soft acid water. They all came out of Florida fish farms. pH 8.2, hardness about 300. She put them immediately into soft acid water. I told her she couldn't do that. She said, "Oh, yes, I can. That is their natural environment, and that's what they need." I had one of the breeders, call her up and talk to her about it. She wouldn't hear of it. She killed every one of the fish and blamed me. So I sent her another batch of fish. They were not exotic like the first batch. They were kind of from a local farm straight out of his pond. She killed every one of those. She then proceeded to reverse the charge. It was a credit card charge. She reversed the charge and took all of that money from me, including the second batch of fish I sent her, which I did not charge her for, nor did I charge her the shipping on it. That soured me on Aquabid. I had, at the same time that happened, I had a very ornery lawyer who was just into being as obnoxious as he could be. Never bought a thing from me, just totally obnoxious. And I just got burned out on the pair of them, and I quit Aquabid. I had been doing quite well up to that point. So I tell that story to demonstrate that fish that are coming off of a fish farm are not fish coming out of the wild. Not only that, fish coming out of the Amazon basin. Now, get this, there is a monsoon season, a rainy season in the Amazon, in which all of the forests for miles from the banks of the Amazon flood. When that happens, the water becomes acid and very soft. Through the rainy season, it gradually begins to recede. As the rains stop, it recedes more and more quickly. It drains out and then centers itself in the channel of the Amazon, which contains very, very heavy mineralization in the mud in the Amazon. The water in the Amazon is so murky you cannot see a quarter of an inch into it. There are one or two rivers feeding into the Amazon that have clear water. The Niger, is it Niger River? I believe is one. The water has no visibility at all. It is that thick with soil that's washing out into the ocean, into this vast delta at the mouth of the Amazon. That has the effect of hardening that water. It raises the pH and increases the GH, the hardness. So by the middle of the dry season, that water is 8.0 or better with a GH of well over 250. Same fish, same water, varies that much throughout the year. I put it to you, fish tolerate dramatic changes in pH. Now, I have kept African Malawi cichlids in soft acid water. I don't think they really liked it much, but it didn't kill them. Fish tolerate, so long as the change occurs gradually, particularly from alkaline to acid, that must occur very, very gradually, such that the fish are able to 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 adapt the osmotic to the osmotic pressure, the change in osmotic pressure by increasing the fluids in the cell structure. Otherwise, the cells stretch and rupture, and the fish dies. That's why you see blood around the base of the fins in a fish that has been put from alkaline to acid water. They're literally bleeding to death. Better like their water high in mineral, says Maureen. Yeah, and that's not necessarily their natural environment, but it is the environment that they're raised in. Beth Sands, hello, Beth. Black tetras and red tetras swim low in the tank and look nervous. Do they need taller plants? Yeah, probably. Amazon sword's perfect. If your tank is big enough, Amazon swords do really well. Yeah, I don't have any of that behavior in here because there's so much cover that the fish are just, they're able to feel safe and secure. And it changes their behavior in very dramatic ways. You don't get darting behavior. There's more involved, these guys. Look at this. I can put my finger right up to the edge, and these fundulus are going to stay pretty much up front. But the camera freaks them out. Now they're hiding. Now they're very sensitive to predation. So they're moving away from anything that looks big that might decide to eat them. So they're found in water that has larger cichlids and other larger fish. Um, yeah, that would be my solution to the issue. Is a lot more cover. Yeah, and the 1 inch deep has to do with the new tank. In this one, I don't think about it much, although I still never go more than an inch deep. Um, in a brand new tank, there's a lot of activity, chemical activity, going on in that substrate, where all of those elements are reacting to each other, bringing about chelation, which is when they're no longer reactive but are stable. That takes a while to occur. It can take several months, and in the meantime, it can heat up the soil, and it can create it can actually burn the roots. It can blacken the roots. It can kill the plants. So I don't put the roots more than halfway down into the sand. Want to start a low-tech tank. Wondered if all this stuff you add to your soil can be mixed. If need be, only to do once. I don't want bags of stuff I'm not going to use. Well, Jason, you'll set up once you get that tank going. You'll want more tanks. So, bite the bullet. Where do you live? I've got suppliers in 3 different countries. Silatech Mater. We need to get some wrenches out here. And I'm having a lot of trouble. Extinct Studios. Could I put dead black oak leaves in an aquarium? I don't know what that means by dead black leaves. If they've fallen off the tree and they've turned black, it should be fine. If they've coming out of water and they're black, it should be fine. They should have a lot of life in them. It's possible they're black because fungus has gotten on them and they're deteriorating, which makes them perfect. The only other reason they might be black is because they were picked off a tree and still contain all the sugars. That might cause them to be black. You absolutely do not want that in the tank. So I hope that answers your question. Exotic water. About the post Madoka eggs, would you suggest adding methylene blue or distilled water? Eggs are fully sealed, no O2. Oh, you're shipping them. Now they'll da 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 da. You need oxygen. You don't need to put it in. Just make sure there's air in the bag, unless it's a breather bag, and they'll be fine. You don't need to put anything in with them. They should be fine. Use the distilled water. That'll work better. So long as the pH is not too far off. Drifter's Workshop. Denise Claire, happy to have found your channel. Knew there had to be a way to have a natural aquarium. Nice to have you, Denise. There certainly is, isn't there? Cindy C has retracted a message, but we're going to give Cindy a wrench anyway. I'm trying to get back to something I started reading and have lost. All right, I'm going to jump to the bottom here. Ahmad Karmizi, using mulberry leaves. Again, that's perfect. You want to make sure these are leaves that have fallen off the tree, that the tree has removed all of the sap from, so there are no sugars in it. If you pick leaves off a tree that contain sugars, they will foul the water. It's way too much nutrient. Cassandra McDonald. That's her own wrenches. Oh, she's got it. Okay. Somehow or other. From Indonesia. Oh, good. He's using Kevin Estefan. Estefan. I love you too, Kevin. Very, very good. Okay. I'm going back and trying to catch. Oh, yeah, here it is. Jason Brumming Reviewer. Want to start a low tech tank. Wondered if all this stuff You add your soil, it can be missed. Yeah, and my response was there are a few things you definitely need. If you will come over to join our show chat, the server, and we'll help you with that list. You need calcium, you need, and that's a good buffer. You need buffers, you need calcium, you need iron. Those are the most critical ones, and they are critical. So get that much, and you should be able to get it in very small quantities. Goldfish do good with moss, says Andrew. Very good. Didn't know that. Excellent. Now, did I give Jason a wrench? Was the other? I did. Okay. So we got Jason taken care of. Now I'm gonna go back down to the bottom. Freaky Fish lady says exotic. Theanine, if your brain won't shut off. Theanine. Cindy C, we did that. Exotic water. Yeah, we did that. They have fish in Toronto, Maureen says. Well, they're everywhere. Let's see. We did the black leaf thing. North Bay in Toronto, Ryan Oaks. By the way, we have suppliers of the father fish supplement in Canada, the UK, and Brazil. And the UK is shipping into the EU. We're working on Australia. We need somebody from India. And anywhere else you from, if you're interested in marketing the father fish supplement, I will help you set it up. I do not require any fees of any kind. I do not take a percentage of the sales. And I will help you get it set up and I will make referrals to you. So I'm really interested in helping people get a little business going. We've got 3 so far and they're coming along pretty well. Your link will be posted at our fatherfish.fish channel, or rather link, uh, website will be available as well on um, on in our store and on Discord on our in our show. So we'll do the best we can to help you make money at it. Maureen has a tank loaded with chimeras. That'll be interesting. The feeder fish and shrimp. The feeder fish should eat them up. Silitech Mater needs a wrench. You got it. YouTube's being slow. We're back up to 152. What time is it? 7:20. Yeah, it picked up a little at the hour. At the hour, things pick up. So yeah, it's climbing a little now. Johnny Best. Do scuds kill newborn baby shrimp? I do not believe so. Scuds are a detritus eater. They do not eat other critters. Um, I could be proven wrong, but to the best of my knowledge, they do not. Drifter's Workshop. Hello, hello. I think the melting is the natural cycle for most plants. Yeah, that's true too. Particularly if they've been grown immersed. That means they have leaves that cannot tolerate being drowned. And so those leaves will die off, but they'll create a root system and be able to put up new leaves. Wanting to buy more tanks, you betcha. Ranting Northerner, thanks to the help on Discord, able to start a second tank and keep the first going. I now have swordtail, snail, and shrimp babies. Everyone seems happy. Excellent. Good job ranting. Louis Negron, Center My Dirt and Sand. What shrimps do I recommend? Neocaridina. Do the Neos first. Any color you like. Um, I would do those because they're going to breed for you. Aquarium suddenly filled with green mist. It's algae. It's an algae bloom. Add more plants. You can cut back a bit on the light, but if you will add more plants, that green will disappear. It will go away. It's not a permanent condition. It's simply algae, single cell algae, and it's there because you have more nutrients than the existing plants can absorb. So add more plants, reduce feeding, lower the lights a little bit, not much. It'll go away. A little PB, where are you from? A little PB. Looking for anyone in any country other than the UK, Canada, and Brazil. Grant the fish guy. How do we get rid of brown algae? Add plants, reduce nutrients. That's the key. Add plants and reduce nutrients. Don't try to clean it out. It's a losing battle. It will clear out by itself. Having trouble keeping frogs alive long after metamorphizing from tadpole. It's a food issue. They're just starving. You need to find the right food for them. What kind of frog is it? It could be that. It could also be the environment they're in. They need a moist environment. Sans the skeleton having trouble keeping frogs. Grant the fish guy. Do I recommend bamboo shrimp? I'd love get bamboo shrimp. I don't think you're going to be able to spawn them. They appear to be a brackish shrimp. They're very nice. They're real hardy. They get big. They hold up real well. So they're definitely worth having. And they're not going to bother anything. They're a filter feeder. Any hard questions, go to the Discord channel and a shark will help you. Are there any sharks here? Good point, Marines. That's really what it's there for. Your thoughts on making sure aquariums are level. I like to use styrofoam underneath the tank. I put a layer of half-inch styrofoam. Thinner is okay, half-inch is better. On whatever the base is. And then put the tank on that because it will level it. It'll give where it needs to give. It'll provide resistance where it needs to provide resistance. So it'll help to keep the tank dead level. Absolutely critical. If the tank is not dead level and it's a large enough tank, it will eventually leak. Daniel, put houseplants in the tank, just the roots, less water changes. It does a really good job of reducing nutrients. Absolutely does. Tinger, 10-gallon quality, hang on filter be fine. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely title. I don't have a problem with HOB filters. Grant, thank you, Grant. Welcome. So we got all three you guys covered. Isn't that amazing? Three people in a row. Humberto, here's another one. Everybody coming in all at once. Add as. Oh, okay, we got them. Tinger, Daniel, and Grant. Welcome, welcome. Drifter's gonna grab some late season pond mud. Water hasn't froze yet to do a jar. Want to try to get some live culture. You want to get leaf culture more than mud, a little bit of mud. It's easy to overdo it with the mud, and that'll foul the water. The Discord name, we need to post the link. Let me just do it. Have I got it here? Let me get it. Dooby doo. Okay, posting link. Did I get it? Oh, there we go. There's the Discord link. Fatherfish Shoal. Let's see. Daniel is in the USA. NARX sub. Where is that? Right there. Does not, even though the water is clean. Free of ammonia. Don't know what that's referring to. Umberto Cantu. What's the wait time for a plant order? We ship out Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for 2-day delivery. If you get your order in after Wednesday, it probably will be the following Tuesday, depending on the plants. If you're looking for the plant package, we begin shipping those on Tuesday each week. And by the end of the week, we're out. So they don't hold over. I don't try to hold them over till the following week. All other plants, uh, if it does not include the plant pack, can ship out on a daily basis. All the other plants are in stock unless we run out. So they ship Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. This week, nothing Thursday because that's Thanksgiving, and we will not be shipping Friday. I never ship on Friday. I used to ship only on Friday. Now I don't ship at all on Friday. Unless there's some dirt orders that have come in where the person really needs it, and then I'll do that. If I need to fill up a 20 long with 2 liters of water just to complete water loss, is it possible to use tap water? Yes, absolutely, without removing chlorine. A good trick, Francisco, is to spray the water. If you have a nozzle and can turn it to spray, if you will spray the water in, the chlorine will dissipate out of the water even before it gets in. So it's a good trick. And yeah, if you're only adding like 10%, you don't need to worry about the chlorine. It's gonna it's going to precipitate, or rather gas off virtually immediately. Maureen's saying you got to try the resurrection jar. Once a month fun is over. Use it like a bread starter to your tank. All those squiggly things you fish will love you. Absolutely. Maureen says, do not feed peanut butter to your fish. I think that's probably good advice. Peanut butter is a lot of sugar. Sugar is very dangerous to put in a tank. The carbs will overwhelm even a small amount of water. I mean, even a large amount of water. They'll just foul things horribly. Got some Christmas sauce. Came in Brownwood. It should come back. It may well, MNC. Put it and try it. See how it does. A well water with lots of lime. Well, you're not going to have any trouble with water going acid, are you? Sharks are a pain in the arse, says Harry. Well, that depends. Maureen says, ouch. Rick Malik, psychosyllabin, huh? See, I know a few things. That is moderator. Or is it psychosyllabin? David Nguyen from Sydney. I have a 200-gallon tropical tank. Want to get strange looking fish. Elephant nose, one or two. By all means, two. That's a wonderful fish. They need to feed it. You need to feed live. You can feed them worms. Great, great fish. Also, try to get knife fish. They do well with elephant nose. Tum Suba, Maureen's menagerie. Lived in Tum Suba for a while. Loved it, she says. Thorn trap. My nitrates are kind of high, around 80. Should I just allow the plants to lower it? Yeah, 80 is not high. 400 is high. But even at that 400, it's not dangerous. When it gets up over 200, then you know you don't have enough plants in the tank. Add plants, it controls nitrates. Nitrates are plant food. Caleb Taylor, hello, hello. PSA doesn't use a 55. Tub from, really, the ADX tub from Home Depot can handle the water pressure. I get the, I don't know what they are. I got some from Walmart the other day. They were marked down to $6, 40-gallon tubs, black tubs. The black ones with ridges. They're molded with a folded top with ridges. They're solid as a rock. You can fill them completely with water and they will not bulge, at least not very much at all. Red-tailed sharks, second to paradise as the spawn of Satan. They can be rough. Melissa from New Zealand. Hello, hello. Mr. Bill, beam me up, Scotty. 2 inches of sand from a local stream. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Jason, is there a way on Discord to maybe upload pictures of me building? Absolutely. Once you're there, you can create your own channel on the server that everybody will be able to visit. You'll be able to have whatever pictures you want on it, so long as they're within the rules and policy of the server and of Discord. So all of the tank pictures you want, no limit. And everybody will be able to, you'll be able to share that with everyone. So it's a wonderful way to be able to do a history, and you can post the ones you really like on a Father Fish to use list, and you will see them pop up in Father Fish streams, which is very exciting. Yep, Daniel, houseplanes take a lot of bad stuff out, from nitrates to ammonia. Absolutely. Chloe, bucket of water in the shower and let the spray of the shower fill the bucket. Yeah, that'll work. Absolutely. Add fish. Beat me up, Mr. Scott. Add fish. You need fish in the tank right away. Let's see. Narek sub. Have a fish. Iridescent shark floats and sticks his head out. Can't imagine. Just being weird. Use rainwater to top off 210 discus. That's going to if you got plants in there, that will eventually create a soft water, low pH tank. You may be careful about that, Moab. Stan Pittman. Hello, Stan. What do you want to share, Daniel? I got this. Oh, there. This light is blinding me. Some dust or something. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. Whoa. Let's see. Some dust or something. Okay. Spell check will do that, won't it? Cassandra McDonald. If I want to convert a large seasoned pebble bottom tank to plant, can I add fluval stratum and then cap with sand without removing water? You said yes on capping with sand, but then you do 2 layers. Darn, that's really interesting. You sure can. Yeah, you absolutely can. And that ain't a bad idea at all. That will get some nutrients into that substrate. And it's clay based, so eventually it'll break down and provide additional nutrients. Really, really good idea. Why I haven't thought of that or nobody's come up with it to date, I don't know. But not bad at all. Not bad at all. Good job, Cassandra. Doom Pie, where's Doom Pie? Missed the whole live stream. Well, open the we still got 15 minutes. maybe 20. You didn't miss all of it. You missed 1/6. No, 5/6. You missed 5/6 of it. You still have a sixth. That's 16% to go. Erie said he'd just do sand. I think you can do it. I really do. I think it's a really clever idea. Best way to deal with black-beard algae. Ranting Northerner. Learn to appreciate it. Black-beard algae is perverse. It has a perverse nature. If you get angry about it and upset about it, it'll grow. It'll expand. It'll take over the tank. If you appreciate it and admire it and cherish it and try to encourage it, it'll die off. It is a perverse plant. And I tell you what, my experience is 100%, not just mine personally, but others who have grown it, who have had it, who decided they liked it, it disappeared. The reality is it's not a permanent condition. It cannot survive in the absence of nitrates. Once it has consumed all the nitrates, it dies off. It's just gone. Ayers, freshwater tank. It's been 2 months with fish. Ammonia 0, nitrates under 40, nitrates always at 0.25. Not sure why. Do 30% water changes. That's why. If you stop doing the water changes, that nitrate will drop to 0. Do you have a what kind of substrate do you have in that tank? Why are you doing a 30% water change twice a week? That's a lot of water change. Well, you got it, some dust. A wrench of your very own. A golf shot for carpet grass. Yeah, that'll work. Epiphyte, bye, Father Fish. By the time you read this, I'll be gone. Amazing to see you. Good to see you too, Epiphyte. Oh, oh dear. Spinster sister. Just there we go, right there. Thank you, Spinster sister. Lost 4 pregnant guppies over 1 week, but the males are great. What's the problem? Water and temp good came from a show breeder. Probably water. A breeder, if it's a show breeder, then the fish that you bought have been living in the same water for countless generations. Any variation at all with like a pregnant fish is enough to throw it into a tailspin. That would be my assumption, that the breeder has they showed the fish because the breeder has spent a number of generations designing the fish to a very high, a sophisticated level of of genetic husbandry, which has almost zero tolerance to any variation in the water. Now, the males are simply hardier. A pregnant female is not a hardy fish. It's a fish that, if the eggs inside it or the babies, once they hatch, are at all sensitive to a change in water amniotic pressure or a change in pH, they could be affected. The egg could die, and that would kill the female. So try to get, if you do it again, try to get enough water from the breeder to be able to keep them in that water. A quart will do. If you can get a quart of water from the breeder just to keep them in that until the babies are dropped, you don't even need to feed them much at all. Very fractionally. Make sure they're heavily pregnant. Once the babies drop, the babies are going to be okay. You can then acclimate the babies to your tank or just move them over and they should be fine. You don't want to drop the pH, but if you're going up, it'll be okay. So the babies will survive. Um, it's a little tricky, but that's typically the problem. Cassandra, been running 13 years. They have a recommended showcase fish for a 75-gallon. Huh. You know, the most obvious showcase fish is angels. Beyond that, you're getting into more exotic stuff. Things that are not going to be tolerant of other kinds of community fish. So if you want to get into non-community fish, Tanganyikas are good. Some of the Central American cichlids, like the Argentia, oddballs like, well, we had elephant nose come up recently, knife fish. Some of the knives from South America get really big. A lot of options. Um, just kind of depends on what direction you want to go in. Let's see. My name is Mud. Thought I'd stick my head up and say hello. Well, hello, Mud. Nice to see you. Mr. Beefy. Started a tank like yours. 1 inch dirt too. In sand 1 month later. High spikes at general hardness. 180 in carbonate hardness at 80. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. Perfectly healthy. Mr. Beefy. Who says Riddick's Films? What's your opinion on Ranchu goldfish? I love Ranchu goldfish. I've never really kept goldfish. I need to do that. They are so spectacular, particularly the Ranchus. I have a friend who has some. I'm gonna get in touch with Precious Tranquility and see if she'll ship me some small goldfish. She should be breeding them in her pond. Love my swordtails. Beautiful, lots of personality. Is a pretty fish, absolutely. Considering Geo, excellent choice. Electric blue, Cara, those are all good choices. You'll need larger fish, but the Geos are extraordinary. I really, really like them. No, you're in great shape, Mr. Beefy. Doing well. I'm not in Florida anymore, Riddicks. I'm in Maryland, in Salisbury, Maryland. If you're driving in anywhere through Maryland, give me a call. We'll try to get together. Let's see. Andrea Midiette just started 2 3-gallon father fish tanks. What test kit do you recommend? Your tongue. I don't recommend a test kit. The only thing you really need to know about is the pH, and you only need to know about it when you're putting new fish in the tank. So I keep Ronithal Blue so I can check that. I don't check anything else, not ever. I used to, don't do it anymore. From Mississauga, Riddick Films. From Mississauga, Mr. Scott. Some of the males survive breathing with some other varieties. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What time is it? 7:53. We got about 10 minutes. Drifter's Workshop. Come over to the Discord. The water is fine. You betcha. Loving the bikers. Oh, great fish. Great fish. Now, bikers can be bred in captivity. They get right big. It's a tank that'll get up to about 1.5 feet, but they will spawn in captivity. They're an egg scatterer, so you need pairs, um, and you can hatch them. I mean, you absolutely can breed them. Mr. Beefy, Mexican tetras and neons with dwarf gourami, LG sucker, 18 red cherry shrimp. Nice, very nice. Um, you want both, ranting northerner. The leaves from the front yard will feed the animals that are living on the leaves from the lake. So you need the lake leaves as a starter culture in order to get the fauna in, and the flora and the bacteria and the everything else. And then you feed that with dry leaves to keep the culture growing. Tank mates with ranchu. I don't have any tips for that. I really think you're better off keeping fancy goldfish by themselves. They're not good swimmers. They don't like to move around a lot. Any little fish is going to nip on them and will decimate their finish. Can you use snail shells to harden rainwater? Yeah, absolutely. Um, Eggshells as well. Eggshells work real well, Lucio. Peter Griffin. Checking out Facebook Marketplace, someone was selling fatherfish stem cuttings. Well, how about that? Ah, that's fun. That's fun. Detective Lopez. Jason, thickened swordtails. Heard the males can get territorial. Yeah, they can be aggressive. Susie is 69. They use breadfruit leaves and guava leaves from Honolulu. So long as they're dry. The critical thing is that they be dry, naturally dry, not picked off the tree and dry, fall into the ground dry. And the difference is that before the tree lets go of the leaf, it removes all of the nutrients from it. Otherwise, if you pick them and it dries, you're getting all the nutrients, all the sugars, and that will almost invariably foul the water. Try putting sugar in your tank once, see what happens. Yeah, absolutely. String leaves are generally better, but either are fine. Let's see. Francisco, 6 neons, 5 guppies, auto neo, plus a fish that came from the lake mud. Cool. Nice. Sounds good, Francisco. Escabay. Cabay. How do you lower the pH? Um, Basically, 2 ways. Make sure you want to do it. It's not usually a good thing to do. With these gouramis I have, I am going to lower the pH. I did lower it. I added 75 to 80, which brought it down to about 7.7. I'm going to get it down closer to 7. 2 ways: peat moss and white vinegar. Peat moss and white vinegar will lower the pH. Do it very slowly and very gradually in very small amounts. You don't want a sudden drop in pH, particularly if you're going to use vinegar. A tablespoon in a 15-gallon tank would be too much. A teaspoon, half a teaspoon would be better. It's like putting pure acid in. Very, very, very small amounts. You might test it in a jar first to see how quickly it drops the pH and then gauge it accordingly. Try to build a dirt tank, says Dynamic Crash. You need to go to the Discord channel and you study the formula. There is a formula. It's not one item, it's 4 different items. Actually, more like 14 different items that go in the soil. So get over to Discord and research it. Plus, you have to do it in a specific way to keep from getting in trouble. Did I give you a wrench dynamic? I did. Alrighty. We're at 8 o'clock. My eyes are burning holes in my head. I'm amazed I lasted 2 hours. It's always fun. The time always flies by. It's such a joy being with you guys. I just absolutely adore it. Love you all. See you in the show. Watch me on YouTube. Bye for now.